dawn broke early on February 28th. Trump gave the word, no more waiting at the gate. U.S. and Israel side by side in the fight. Launch them strikes deep into the Iranian night. Targeting the mullahs, the prayers and their crew, nuking their nukes before they couldn't brew. Tehran shaking with explosions in the air, smoke rising high, showing we mean business there. God bless America, land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime's done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and NATO making the bad guys kneel. Trump's calling the shots, urging folks to rise up, overthrow the tyrants, fill freedom's cup. Trump's message rings out, your freedom's at hand. To the Iranian people, take back your land. We hit their leader, Supreme and the rest. Joined ops with Israel, putting them to the test. They fired back a while at bases in our ally, but our defenses hold under that Middle East sky. No more hiding threats, no more playing games. Trump's bringing justice in America's name. God bless America, land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and NATO making the bad guys kneel. Trump's calling the shots, urging folks to rise up, overthrow the tyrants, fill freedom's cup. From the Gulf to the skies, the world's watching now. Trump standing tall, showing them how. No endless wars, but when push comes to shove, we protect our own with strength from above. Iran's retaliation, just desperate flails, while our forces strike true, tipping the scales. For peace through power, that's the American way. Trump's leading the charge, saving the day. God bless America, land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime's done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and Israel making the bad guys kneel. Trump's calling the shots, urging folks to rise up, overthrow the tyrants. Yeah, Trump's America, strong and true, kicking ass for me and you. God bless the USA and Trump too.
From the dusty sands of Iraq to the Holy Land shore, we stood tall against the tyrants, settling the score. Flying over the desert, fighting for what's right, waving old glory under that desert night.
Terror's got no place in this world we defend. With our allies in Israel, brothers to the end.
Oh, make America great like like Trump always said, pro-conservative values from heart to head, and a terror and a commie and a lunacy too. Pro-America, pro-flag, red, white, and true, standing strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith under God's own light. Saddam's regime crumbled, we brought the light of day. No more hiding in shadows, we pay freedom's way. Trump knew the deal with walls and bold calls, kept the radicals running, built those embassy walls. Our bond with Israel, unbreakable chain against Hamas and hatred, we weather the rain.
Oh, make America great like Trump always said, pro-conservative values from heart to head, and I terror, commie, and a lunacy too. Pro-America, pro-flag, red, white, and true, standing strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith under God's own light.
No room for the socialists spinning their lies, or the crazies dividing with their wild-eyed cries. We honor our heroes, the ones who gave all for family, for country, answering the call. Trump led the charge with grit and with grace, keeping our nation in its rightful place. From Baghdad to Jerusalem, the eagle soars high with stars on our banner, touching the sky. We'll
Stand strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith.
Forever inside.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on Starship Adventures. I played the second song there because I was trying to get some scanner feeds up. Just got home 20 minutes ago. I don't even have everything turned on yet. I'm trying to get the scanner feeds up for Hawaii, and I have forgotten. Hawaii Public Safety does not allow the broadcasting of their signals over the internet. So we do not, in perfect transparency, we have absolutely nothing going on scanners. Anyway, we are covering right now a flooding situation that's going on it's a flooding situation that's going on with evacuations ordered on Oahu as officials warn of imminent dam failure. Evacuations have been ordered amidst an ongoing flash flood emergency across the northern shores of Oahu. And I do have that here where we can see it, I think. Hold on. I turned it on and nothing happened. Yeah, I just got to reassign it here. Where's WeatherWise? I am getting to like this new WeatherWise. There we go. There we go, guys. You can see there the line that's like moving around like ants. That's telling you that that's an emergency there. This is a pretty high warning. I think it was an emergency earlier. I think now it's, God, and here we go. As soon as one of my feeds goes off, that woman comes up. I don't even know who she is. I've never watched her before in my life. This thing acts like a computer that's not signed in when it's going to the next video. And it ends up either being her or the black preacher guy. And it's always one of the two. So anyway, yeah, thanks everybody for being here. So yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad everything is going well tonight. All right, so I'm going to find something to plug that hole with. I got up Fox Weather tonight with this flooding situation. The dam breaking is imminent at this point. I'm trying to get live views. It's daytime there. Those two views at the top, that's what I have. The middle one is local news there. And the upper left one is supposed to be a flood cam, although it's not even showing any standing water. So I'm not sure if that's some kind of spoof or what. I was very surprised I got on here. The only thing I can find is Hawaii County Public Safety and Big Island, Hawaii, Puna, Volcano Coup Public Safety, whatever, and Honolulu County Emergency Amateur Radio Repeaters. I am monitoring those right now. In fact, we should be hearing that. Let me see. Hold on. Let me turn this back up so we can hear those scanners. Sounds like just a bunch of static. Well, we're going to keep listening. There's not a lot to listen to. This is the second or third big emergency I've covered out on Hawaii.
And just you just call from Mid-16.
10-4-30 in the call.
Yeah, it's difficult to cover things out there because they don't have a lot of media. They also don't have a lot of scanners, and the information doesn't come off the island as quick as you would think it would. No, I haven't seen that yet. Near collision, Newark Airport. I have not seen that yet. Hopefully I'll come across that when I do the news rundown, which I'm getting ready to do. All right, so we'll look for that. Oh, they think they found Amelia Earhart yet again. I wish they'd find her just so they'd quit worrying about finding her. I guarantee she's dead. That's kind of the joke, you know. Even if she survived the crash and lived to be a ripe old age, she'd still be dead.
That's good.
Central 130 Charlie, 1018, ID number 7531. Good morning.
10-4-30.
1.
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube loves to play liberals, like doing weird liberal things, as your next video. It's just a way to put the stuff in front of you. It's a way to get it in front of you. I don't know if it's deliberate or not. I'm sure it is. All right, so we're watching the upper center there. That is local media out of Hawaii. And you can see there's some of the video coming in. Let me finish this up here. Local officials have begun evacuating Walahalawa and Halaiwa in Honolulu County due to the imminent failure of the Hawaii Dam. Give me a break with all these names. The National Weather Service office in Honolulu joined Fox Weather on Friday amid the evacuations. The flash flood warning was issued with the flash flood emergency zone for the imminent dam failure.
Anything that
The Waiwa Reserve has risen to 85 feet, which is the critical threshold for issuing that particular warning, according to a meteorologist at the National Weather Service. Hawaii's Department of Transportation said catastrophic flooding was ongoing pre-dawn Friday in Walahawala and also Halaiwa, where people were urged to, I do better with the Middle Eastern names, I think. And I hate bastardizing these folks' names, urged to evacuate to higher ground or higher floors within their homes. The National Weather Service said the flash flood emergency would remain in effect through 11 a.m. local time. A flash flood watch is in effect across most of Hawaii. Now, remember, these people are 7 hours behind us. So it's 9 o'clock here, but we're talking, it's still 2 o'clock in the afternoon there. Stranded residents told Fox Weather that people are on their roofs with their animals and have been told by 911 operators that first responders are unable to reach them. Local emergency management told the National Weather Service that the town of Halawaha has been cut off completely by floodwaters. From the Hawaiian Electric Company for update, Oahu outage update number 1. For safety reasons, we have turned off the power to 4,100 customers on the North Shore. Customers on Oahu, Hawaii Island, and in Maui County could prepare for the possibility of new outages as the second storm moves across the state. Saturated grounds. Now, I will tell you, this storm, the second storm that they're talking about in all these articles, is that one you see there, and it's clearing now. We got a dry notch moving in. It's kind of hard to tell exactly how much more we've got because there's only so many radar sites, but it doesn't look like there's much out here. Okay? I'm not seeing a lot out here, so they're going to get some more spotty showers coming through overnight. Or not overnight, I'm sorry. They're 7 hours behind us. Through the late afternoon here, they're going to have probably a few more spotties, but the good news is we're pretty much going to end the rain here for them, at least for a while. Now, here's where we're looking at this is the particularly dangerous situation. It's a flash flood warning. This is an observed catastrophic flash flood warning, and it expires tomorrow. The regular flash flood warning expires tomorrow. The PDS one expires in 2 hours. Now, the reason this is so big is because I believe we're up on a mountain here, and there's a dam here somewhere, and this is all downstream of the dam. And that's why this town here is what they're worrying about. And we've still got another 30 minutes of rain here, and then it should start to dry out.
Shallow breathing. No further information.
Let me see if I can... didn't I find storm total the other day? Storm total precip. Okay, here you go. This is your storm total precip. And you can see here these areas in orange. 5.3 inches. This is a lot of rain for Hawaii. I know some of us 5.3 inches is not that big a deal. I know it isn't for here. But this is a mountainous area that doesn't normally get a lot of rain. So this is your storm total right here. So this was a big storm that came through. Provided a lot of rain on that one island right there. There was also, you can see where it squeezes between these two big mountain chains right here, because there's a spot there where it's really thick. That's because it's squeezing through that pass. It tends to rain out. But yeah, that island really got some rain. You can see that there. So that's the precipitation total. And of course, there's no rotation to talk about. All right, so let's go back to here. This is the regular radar, and it looks like it's going to be ending soon for this area. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on this, and we're going to talk about a few other things, but we will keep an eye on it. So for right now, we're going to go back and forth, but we're also going to be watching the Middle East, where crap's still flying through the air over there. It is the wee hours of the morning, about 4 in the morning over there, or whatever. So it's just a couple hours before first light. And so we're watching for anything that happens over there as well. Also, in the top middle, we've got local media from Hawaii, upper left. That's a live cam from Hawaii. And I'm going to be trying to find something else to replace some of those out with. All right. In the meantime, let's have a quick word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to reality.
Do you have a family member that has gone off the deep end? lost all connection with reality? Are they suffering uncontrolled crying and an unexplainable hatred for Donald Trump? Do you want to get that loved one back? Introducing MAGA Strength Trumpanol, a medication specifically formulated to treat the symptoms of Trump derangement syndrome. It reverses the debilitating effects of TDS and brings normalcy and reason back into focus. Get your loved one back today with Trumpanol.
Side effects include sudden onset of personal responsibility and a strange desire to pay your own bills, uncontrollable urge to say thank you to service workers and law enforcement, mild to severe improvement in critical thinking skills, may cause enthusiastic patriotism, flag waving, and an inexplicable urge to get a job or start a nuclear family, increased tolerance for differing political opinions, sudden appreciation for border security and law and order, temporary loss of victimhood identity, patients report feeling oddly empowered instead, development of a functional sense of humor about political figures, may develop immunity to corporate media fear porn, may cause you to stop virtue signaling on social media and start building something real in the physical world. Do not take if you are allergic to winning, common sense, or constitutional republics.
Trumpanol, the leading treatment for acute Trump derangement syndrome in adults. Get Trumpanol today wherever psychedelic or hallucinogenic drugs are sold. Stop being a crazy bitch. Get Trumpanol today.
Trumpanol, welcome back to reality.
ID 7165. Good morning. Be heading to Kulaimano info.
Hi, copy. Okay, for 2020.
Central, beginning
10-4.
From 3 Bravo with 10-8 on 10-1 for processing.
10-4.
from 837 Bravo.
7 Bravo, standing by.
Can you please roll me over to 836 Charlie, 1018 ID 9947. Good afternoon.
10-4, I got 10-2 process. Sorry, 36, disregard the last. Go ahead.
10-8, 10-1, 1 adult male, 10-16.
10-4.
Control and spot transporting.
Okay, 95.
How the hell did that get turned off? I'm sitting here looking at it. My audio is like turned off, and I don't know if my sound card cycled or what. Well, that really sucks. Anyway, all right. So I don't know where it cut off or when it cut off or what. So I just saw the first thing in the chat room about it. So, yeah. So I guess it just went off. Anyway, so what we've got tonight is we've got a G2 to G3 class strong geomagnetic storm underway right now. Our deflector shield basically is getting buffeted from energy, and the northern lights are beautiful right now, all in the north up there, and this is being triggered off by just by the time we're right near the equinox, and we've also had a lot of energy moving by, and this is working well. Okay, so that's the one thing. I put up an Aurora cam. The upper right camera is an Aurora cam. And I'm looking to see if I can find another decent one here.
Never.
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, I'll put this one up. I'm going to go ahead. That flood cam is worthless. It's not even flooding wherever that flood cam is. All right, so this is another Aurora cam. This one is out of North Dakota. So this is in the United States, guys. That's in North Dakota, upper left. The skies are emerald green. And that is a live shot.
No, 10 to possibly disconnected already.
But I'm trying to find cause. Well, Central to second watch. You guys add in if you don't.
All right, there's no launches tonight. Let's see.
Were you guys looking for an email party out in the Limano area? Yeah, okay.
It's security mark calling for a female party, Laura de la Croix.
Okay.
Let's report theft of a vehicle not registered to her, it's registered to Ria de la Croix. We are waiting on the first stop. Zulu Mike Tango 90 feet was removed from the parking lot.
3 Bravo, off in the back.
10.
Metro 36, hang on.
10.
Metro 34, off in the back.
10.
Metro 43, Bravo.
Go ahead.
I'll be 10-8 here, providing 05 for 1 mile to 1946 Kinoali Street.
Okay, I'm putting up the Aurora thing so you can see it here. If I can get this to work. There we go. All right, guys, real quick. Here's the Aurora forecast. And you can see there, man, it was just a lot redder a few minutes ago. But they're expecting it to come down to where you can see it further down. What we're looking at both out of this country and out of Northern Europe, there is Aurora right now. So if you're up in Canada or up in the northern tier, up in a state that connects to Canada, you might want to go outside and see what you can see at some point.
Our guess is
Or 1 Bravo, 10-8.
10-4.
Heath, we're so glad you made it tonight, buddy. I got your text earlier, and I was like, wow, okay. Oh, man, I hope you're all right. Just having gone through this with family members, too. You know, it's, man, it sucks. I don't know what else to say. But you get through it. You survive it. That's what we do. So, yeah, I'm glad you're here, and glad you made it in tonight. And yes, a speedy recovery. All right, so there we go. We got 2 shots of the Aurora. We got a live shot of the news out of Hawaii. And we've got Fox Weather. And that's the Aurora, which I'm going to go ahead at this point and get rid of. Okay, and we are watching a number of cameras in the Middle East where there's been on and off rain today. Or this evening, I should say. All right. Let me see what's next here. So, the Windy City, Chicago. That city's in a financial death spiral. You know, they elected that alien-looking lady. She ran it into the ground. And then right before it hit the ground, they brought in this new guy. Because they didn't like her. She wasn't liberal enough. They brought in this guy, which is to the left of her, and he has drove it into the ground as hard as you can drive it. Chicago's teetering debt is a stark warning. Left-wing mayor is fueling pay later doom cycle, according to experts. Everything he's doing is do it now, we'll pay for it later, we'll figure it out. Austin Berg of the Illinois Police Institute says Mayor Brandon Johnson's $830 million bond deal with no principal payments for 20 years mirrors a notorious parking meter blunder. This is just another amazing thing. This guy's asking for $800 million in perpetuity. He's just going to pay the interest on it for the next 20 years. No. No, we don't do it that way. Chicago's the nation's 3rd largest city, is facing a corporate fund budget gap of more than $1 billion. Here we go. California's in debt by billions. Washington State, Oregon, all these states are in debt. Here we go. Illinois in debt. We're talking here just a city in debt, $1 billion. Wow. And they got $100 million in deficit with about 2/5 of the budget going towards debt service and pension costs. Wow. See, the unions have done this. The unions over the years have forced the cities to make so many deals and write so many checks that their ass can't cash. And that's exactly where we're at right now. I would love to see everybody get big, huge corporate retirement plans and all that kind of stuff. But when you do that, you end up, everybody retires, people die, people move on, things happen. And next thing you know, you've got so many widows and so many people that are retired and so many people that have retired early and so many people, they're all on the tit. And it's not sustainable. There's a lot of big cities, New York, New Jersey, there's several big cities in New Jersey. Also, Baltimore's in the same situation. And also Philadelphia is in the same situation where the cities have just spent themselves into oblivion. And now they're all wanting to borrow money. This is the new thing. Look, we need a $800 million bond offering. And they're saying, okay, when are you going to make your first payment? I don't know, 20 years maybe?
Control medical and transport.
That's nuts when you think about it. And so all these cities, all around these blue cities, they've wrote checks that their ass can't cash. And you don't see it as much at all, really, in the red cities, except there's just not that many red cities. So unfortunately, it's a fairly large problem. These people, they keep giving raises, they keep getting promotions, they keep giving everything. The cost keeps going up. The cost keeps going up on everything, going up on everything. And pretty soon you're spending 2/3 of your money on what they call legacy commitments. Legacy commitments are those things that you agreed to in the past in a union contract, you agreed to with the city council, you agreed to with whoever you're making the agreement with, and now you've got to keep that agreement. And you've got hundreds of people, thousands of people out here on some kind of benefits from the city, and it's just unsustainable. And we're seeing that in these blue cities. Now, places like Florida, right to work state, we don't have that problem down here. We don't have that. Everybody gets state retirement. It's a good retirement, and it's done. There's none of this extravagant unions pushing for way too much, and there's none of that. So, unfortunately, the bluer the city, the more in debt they're going to be.
Hotel, right, 647 Hotel Delta Sierra is master.com, but we have a previous contact. The owner was last stated to be a Zoltan Magoni.
Bionic fire truck. Welcome back. I remember you. Hello from South Minneapolis land of 10,000 lakes and fraud. There you go. 10,000 lakes and 50,000 Somali fraudsters, unfortunately. Yeah, and it's not just you guys, though. You know what? I'm sorry. I talk a lot of smack about Minneapolis and Minnesota, and I talk a lot of smack about this and that. But let me tell you something. They're going to find even more of it in other places like California and stuff. It's everywhere. You're in California. It's funny because what we do on our show, anybody on the left coast, when they call in, last week we were the 12th highest streaming show on the internet. It was pretty cool. And one of the reasons we get so many people streaming us is because people call us, conservatives call us from all over the country. And anytime we get a caller from the left coast, we always announce it is now we've got Bob calling from behind enemy lines in Los Angeles, California. Bob, keep your head down. Go. Oh, my God. In California, it's so blue there. All we have is some resistance fighters in the mountains. That's pretty much it. you guys like the new Trump and all ad? I'm going to be making a series of those over the next week. I'm going to make a few that incorporate several of the products. And I've got several other ideas that I'm going to be doing along the way. And I got 3 new products. 3 new products that I'm working on. And so I'll get those out too eventually. I like the Trump and all thing. It's a funny piece of satire. I showed it to about 10 different people at work, and I respect these people. They're all in broadcasting. They're people I work with, but they're people that are very good at their jobs. And there we go. They all love it. They think that it could go viral, and we should get it out there as far as we can. So that's what I'm doing. I've sent it out to a bunch of people. I sent it up to my friend Mike Opelka, who is a national level fill-in host that does a morning prep sheet. And I told him he can put it out on his prep sheet if he wants. I've been sending it out to everybody I can think to send it out to, and of course to you guys. And I'm asking you guys tonight if you could do me a favor and help me get the word out and get this video out. I've never really asked you guys before to try to make one of my videos go viral. Because I never thought I had one that was maybe worthy or not. But this one here is, I think, it is a really, really good video. It's the one I just showed you a few minutes ago. But it's a really good video. I think it's awesome. Let's see, is this the right one? Yeah. Just making sure I copied the right link for you guys. Here we go. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, so that link I just put in there, that's for the Trump and all ad. If you guys could just do me a favor, please. I've never asked really much about this before, other than just let people know about the channel. But on this particular video, I would love for you guys to put it out on your social medias. If you want to. If you're not political on your social media, then I probably wouldn't do it. But either way, I think it would be fun. I would love to try to, if we can get this to go viral, we could easily move up our notch here and get a lot more people in. I appreciate that, Matt. I really do. That one yesterday was a different video. The one today is the 1.5-minute version. It's a brand new 1.5-minute version. What the hell? Let's play it again.
Do you have a family member that has gone off the deep end, lost all connection with reality? Are they suffering uncontrolled crying and an unexplainable hatred for Donald Trump? Do you want to get that loved one back? Introducing MAGA Strength Trumpanol, a medication specifically formulated to treat the symptoms of Trump derangement syndrome. It reverses the debilitating effects of TDS and brings normalcy and reason back into focus. Get your loved one back today with Trumpanol.
Side effects include sudden onset of personal responsibility and a strange desire to pay your own bills, uncontrollable urge to say thank you to service workers and law enforcement, mild to severe improvement in critical thinking skills, may cause enthusiastic patriotism, flag waving, and an inexplicable urge to get a job or start a nuclear family, increased tolerance for differing political opinions, sudden appreciation for border security and law and order, temporary loss of victimhood identity, patients report feeling oddly empowered instead, development of a functional sense of humor about political figures, may develop immunity to corporate media fear porn, may cause you to stop virtue signaling on social media and start building something real in the physical world. Do not take if you are allergic to winning, common sense, or constitutional republics.
Trumpanol, the leading treatment for acute Trump derangement syndrome in adults. Get Trumpanol today, wherever psychedelic or hallucinogenic drugs are sold. Stop being a crazy bitch. Get Trumpanol today.
Trumpanol, welcome back to reality.
Okay, maybe it's just me because I made it, but I think that's a winner. I don't normally say anything I've ever done is a winner. That's a winner. I don't know. There's something about that, and I'm going to be making more of these. And this is going to all become part of the whole persona here. the show being completely sponsored by Trump and all. So there you go. What do you guys was that good? I mean, you guys know I made that with AI. I made that with that AI studio that I showed you. I made an AI that makes the 5-second clips, and I removed all restrictions and everything else. And then I went in and I described what I wanted. I had a couple of misfires, but for the most part, I used everything I made. And it's just a bunch of 5-second clips all put together, which is all a regular ad is if you think about it. And of course, all the side effects are good side effects, not bad side effects, which I thought. I was going to put rectal bleeding and death at the end, but I decided not to, because that's usually at the end of most of them. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'm trying to get it out there. We're doing okay on it. I think it's up to 76 views in 9 hours. That's about average for my videos. I don't get a lot of love from YouTube, guys. When you're a right-wing broadcaster, you have to claw for every mile. I'm going to be dropping below 27,000 subs in the next day or so. They're pruning again. And every day for the last week, I've lost 20 and I've gained 5. And so I'm slowly losing subs over the last 5, 6, 7 days. And YouTube does this to us. And so now, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just keep making shows, I guess. Keep doing what I do. Keep trying to entertain. Keep showing you guys the world. And hopefully I can turn this around. Maybe there'll be a big incident this weekend or something that will get me going. I don't hope for that stuff, but when it comes, it sure gives us a boost. So I'm trying. If you guys haven't hit that hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. I'm just about to drop below 27,000, and I've been over 27,000 for months. So I just really I feel like I'm scratching backwards towards the cliff, and I'm like, oh man, got to keep on keeping on. That's right. Yeah, I mean, if you're already subbed, there's not much you can do other than just share out what we do, and maybe we'll find some more people that are interested. Anyway, that's what it is. It is what it is. I think this Trump stuff can bring us a lot more viewers, people that are right-wingers like us, people that want to come in and talk about the country and what good's left in the country and all that.
Looks like a previous call for service with Tristan Keon. The lady is also an SPG.
Yeah, Merlin, that's why I chose a model where it shows a commercial. I don't beg for money. If I get supers, I put the money to good use, but I don't beg for them. You'll notice I've never asked you guys for money. I've never asked you for a super. It's not my model. It's not the way I'm doing things. I don't do that. But if I can make enough money to travel across this country and bring you guys with me, I think with just ad revenue alone. Yeah. Yeah, it was just a joke with the rectal bleeding, because I love those. It's like there's 21 seconds of them telling you what it does, and then there's 48 seconds of it telling you all the other stuff that it does. And I'm like, my rule of thumb is if the side effects part of the ad is 30 seconds or more, I don't even entertain the possibility. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it, Merlin. I didn't mean to imply that you were begging for money. That's not that. Please don't take that way. I'm just saying I'm not. I know the cup of coffee thing doesn't really work unless you get into something that is widely downloaded. If you get 1 million people that download it, you can make some money. But generally speaking, we have something that maybe 500 people or 5,000 people download. And there just won't be that many people there that will do that for you. Also, different parts of the world, different cities, different things. You know, depending on what you're getting rid of, what you're selling, what you're doing. But that's why I've settled on this business model here. So real quick, I got two other stories I'm gonna get to that you guys are mentioning in there. Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, said in April the city was at a crossroads and had to essentially do more with less, while simultaneously slamming the Trump administration for reportedly threatening federal funding, calling it a different scenario we weren't under before. No, they weren't, because Biden just gave them as much money as they needed. Austin Berg, executive director of the pro-tax research group Illinois Policy Institute, said markets are looking at the true numbers and are really concerned about Chicago right now. They're talking about possibly it going bankrupt, and that's why you see the spreads on Chicago debt getting wider and wider. The structural issues, he said. The solution set is always the same. Stop making bad decisions, and you have to put a structure in place to make better decisions. That's the problem with these leftist cities. They can't see beyond all the handouts and social programs. That's all they really see. Well, I to say our country's hanging by a thread, I think that if you're talking about the United States, we're doing great. I mean, you know, our economy's great. It's much better than it was a year ago. We've shut the borders. We have opened up drilling and exploration. All the things have been done that need to be done, and Trump's running this place like a business now. So, hanging by a thread, I wouldn't say that at all. I think we're doing great. The United States is a very strong place, and it has a very deep economy. And everybody's always looking at the superficial this and the basics of that, and it just works much deeper than that. So I don't know what countries we're talking about here. But our country, if you're talking about the United States, I just don't think it's hanging by a thread. I don't. I think it's doing great. Is it great? Great? No, it's got a lot of work, but we're getting there. I mean, I'm encouraged right now. I don't think this Iran thing's going to go on that long. I think gas is going to return. I think that we're going to see a much better day coming. And I think we got 3 more years of Trump in there running this place like a business. Now, a lot is going to depend on the midterms. If we don't get out and vote, if people on the right don't get out and vote, we all have to get out and vote. If we don't get out and vote, they're going to begin impeaching and impeaching and impeaching, and they're going to try to obstruct anything that he might get done during his last 2 years, which is going to create a big quagmire. It's going to stop all this improvement that we've been seeing. They're wanting us to devolve back into the Biden years where inflation was 10% year over year. By the way, right now it's down to almost nothing. We're doing great right now. So hanging by a thread, I would not use that analogy, but that's just me. Yeah, if you're in a leftist town, a blue town, more than 50% of the people do not have jobs. That's true. That's true. Leftists, most of them don't work. And when they do, they work for a union, and they work for 20 years, and then they quit, and they're done, and they never work again. What's wrong, Mama? You sound like you're in heat or something. You know, we ripped all that shit out 7 years ago. What is it? What's up? What? Are you okay? What is, you're acting weird tonight. Is it a full moon or something? Is there like earthquakes? Yeah, no, the economy's actually not bad right now. It's not. Daddy's doing good. Daddy's doing good. He's outside right now, and he's, I'm sure, sitting right outside the door waiting for me to bring him in the bedroom. I would like to join you guys too, but I can't. I'm like an hour before. I'm still coming home from work. You guys can plug other shows as long as it's not on while I'm on. That's all I care about. I'm pretty easygoing about stuff like that. Pretty good. She gets catnip 2 or 3 times a week. I've got it out here, and I've also got it in the bedroom. I've got a little pan I use. I put it down. They all roll around in it. It's hilarious. Yeah, this is Mama Bleep. She gets it 2 or 3 times a week. The boys in the bedroom get it 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, Hawaii is getting slammed, and we did just look at that, and it does look like, at least at this point, that they're in a dry notch now. And here's what it looks like. You can see there they've still got the warnings going on here. We got a warning, and then we got a PDS warning. PDS stands for particularly dangerous situation, and that's what this down here is, a flash flood PDS, particularly dangerous situation. For an observed flash flood, threat level is catastrophic. It expires in 1 hour, and as you can see, the rain is about to stop there. So that's the good news. We'll zoom it out a little bit. I'll switch to the radar out here, and you can see there's really not much else that's going to be left to come over. So that's good news right there. Actually, something's wrong. That radar has old data, so let's not worry about that. What happened? There we go. Yeah, that it's about to dry up there. That's the bottom line. And as it dries up, then, hopefully the water will start to recede. A lot of it depends. You can have rivers that will continue to rise for days after the rain has stopped raining. The reason? Because it's backstacked all the way up the hill, and it's all got to come down. 9 p.m. Pacific. That's going to be midnight Eastern. I'll be off the air by then, so that's cool. Check that out. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that some of these other shows would let you guys plug us. I'm cool that way, but I don't expect a reciprocal. It's up to them. Hey, we're all helping each other out here. This is a big enough pond that we shouldn't have to sit around all day worrying about our competition, okay? Because there is billions of people right now tuning into YouTube, and you're not competing against each other. You're competing against algorithms, and so I don't look at it as competing. Now, if you got a show that's like mine and it's on at the same time as mine, I would ask that you don't mention that because that's a direct competitor. Anything that's not a direct competitor, I'm perfectly fine with. No, we have no idea, and we also, that's why I've got up that one in the middle there. This is live. This is that lady that's talking up there. That's live from a TV station in Hawaii. And also left center, I've got Fox Weather. The upper two, it's look, I can see pillars in the upper right one there. It looks like a pillar, and that could be one of two things. Sometimes when there's ice crystals in the atmosphere will reflect the city lights and make them look like pillars in the sky. Or it may even reflect in such a way that it looks like there's a second city over the first one. Or it could be pillars within the aurora borealis. And that's looking more like what it is the more I look at it. I now see 3 distinct pillars in that, which is really cool. But those auroras are live. The one on the left is from the United States, and the one on the right is from far northern United Kingdom. And no, we have no idea when it's going to break. I am looking at weather and news and stuff coming out of Hawaii. Damn. I'm sorry, guys. Man, oh, man. Okay, that's Hawaii News Now. We've got up in the center up there. That's Hawaii News Now. And they've got 195,000 subs. And they're on YouTube. And the strangeness tonight. The absolute strangest thing about tonight is our focus is on Hawaii. And technically our focus is on Hawaii for more than one reason. Because as many of you guys know, we lost Chuck Norris yesterday. He passed away. And he truly was one of the greats. I really love his work. I thought he did great work. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes tonight talking about the late Chuck Norris. His death has inspired tributes from Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and a bunch of lead Hollywood actors and others.
The family of Chuck Norris saying that the Walker, Texas Ranger star has died at the age of 86.
Yeah, and so the Norris family has confirmed he died Thursday morning, saying he was surrounded by loved ones and at peace at the time of his passing. Celebrities mourning the death of iconic actor and martial arts artist Chuck Norris. Sylvester Stallone starred alongside Norris in The Expendables 2 and shared a photo of their time on set. He said he had a great time working with Chuck. His caption on Instagram began, "He was all-American in every way. Great man. My condolences to his wonderful family," Stallone included. Stallone concluded. Jean-Claude Van Damme also took to Instagram to share a tribute to Norris. "Deepest condolences on the passing of my friend, Chuck Norris. We knew each other from my early days, and I always respected the man he was. My heart and prayers are with his family. He will never be forgotten." President Trump reacted to Norris's death, telling reporters that the action star was one great guy. Was a great guy. "Wow, a really good cook, a tough cookie," Trump said. "You didn't want to fight him. He was a great supporter. Wow, that's too bad." Former President George W. Bush also shared a statement on Norris, his death as well, that him and Laura were saddened by the passing, and that he was a great guy. And Christy Brinkley God, there's so many people have been because she did the total gym thing with him. Remember Christy Brinkley? So she has issued a statement also. She said he was a real family man and would bring his wife on set sometimes or talk on the phone with his family between takes. He would tell Bruce Lee stories if he was asked. Remember, he was in an early movie with Bruce Lee himself. Yeah.
No units available at the moment for Hamakua, but we do have a transfer call from HSD.
Brinkley said that she doesn't agree with him with his politics, but she agreed that the total gym was good. Oh, Jesus. You're getting paid, lady.
That came to the station reported another party intending suicide.
There's a bunch of them. These are all tributes coming in.
He went to the patient's house to drop off food. The female responsible wasn't there. And that female went to the cliff where she was talking about...
I remember the memes they did for a while there. They were so funny. They were doing memes of Chuck Norris. Like when somebody said when Chuck Norris does push-ups, he actually pushes the earth down. There was a bunch of those memes. They were funny. I can remember those. Dolph Lundgren, bunch of different people. Chuck Norris, the champ. Oh, man. What a mess. This is just all about all the different people. He did, I'm looking, I'm not going to read all this. It's like everybody in Hollywood wrote something. Wow. His first appearance on TV or film was a small, uncredited role in the 1968 The Wrecking Crew, and he appeared in a handful of films in the early 70s while he was also competing in martial arts. After retiring from competitive karate in 74, he wasn't sure about his next move, but McQueen suggested he step further into Hollywood. He went on to act in more than 20 movies, such as Missing in Action, The Delta Force, and Sidekicks. In 93, he took his most famous role as a crime-fighting lawman in TV's Walker, Texas Ranger. You know, they didn't mention, I think, one of the movies that really made him, and it's probably my favorite Chuck Norris movie, and that's Lone Wolf McQuade. If you guys don't know the movie Lone Wolf McQuade and you like him, please go back and watch that. It's basically Walker, Texas Ranger. Before there was Walker, Texas Ranger, he was called Lone Wolf McQuade, and it's a great movie. I'm just going to tell you one thing. At one point in the movie, they beat him up and throw him in his truck, and they bury his truck underground, in a hole. It's a crazy movie, dude. I just love that movie. He had a really neat Dodge that he drove, and it was a great movie. Delta Force was a great movie. It was a little campy. Missiles flying off of motorcycles and shit, but it was a little campy, but that's okay. Delta Force was good. And, of course, Missing in Action, those were great movies. Those are must-sees. And then Walker, Texas Ranger. He was in a bunch of other stuff, too. Yeah, he did a lot of different things. He was also in Sidekicks. And he was given the honorary title of Texas Ranger, and the Texas Senate later named him an honorary Texan. So not only was he made an honorary Texas Ranger, but he was also made an honorary Texan by the Senate. They loved the guy. I mean, you know. He's survived by his wife of nearly 30 years, Gino Kelly, sons Mike and Eric, and daughters Dakota, Danielle, and Dinah or Dina. There you go. Chuck Norris. I can't, still, I don't know, it'll take a few days to sink in that he's gone. But anyway, Chuck Norris. I've got a nice article that AI helped me with on my page. You guys can check that out if you want. It's on my Discord. It's also on both of my community pages. Bottom right, that is the radar out of Hawaii, where we've got all the flooding going on. Upper left, upper right is the Aurora Borealis live out of both the United States and the upper United Kingdom. The upper center is the live coverage coming out of Hawaii, the big Hawaiian news station there, and of course we've got Fox Weather up as well. So we're watching about 5 different situations right now. All right, so that's that. That's Chuck Norris. Rest in peace. And as I always say, the man had an amazing legacy. And here's the really cool thing. Our great-great-great-great-great-grandkids will be able to watch those movies anytime they want. To me, that's important. That's legacy. That those movies that he made will live on forever. And I have this great prediction that as the future goes on, people are going to want more of what was in the past. They're going to want to watch old TV shows even more. I have a funny feeling, because, I mean, they released that brand new woke, and I'm not going to get into it right now, but they released that Kurtzman Trek, Star Wreck, whatever it is, Academy. They released that bukkake bullcrap. Did I get that right? Bukkake? Good old bukkake. They released that bukkake crap. And they released all of that. And Everybody Loves Raymond, a 19-year-old rerun of Everybody Loves Raymond outpaced it almost 2-1. So I'm starting to think bukkake is here. That's right. You can. I'm telling you guys, I think there's something to this. I think that, and I'm looking at shows like MASH. These are my shows. I know there's other ones like 90210. I never watched it, but I've heard good things that people like that show. Friends is a big one. Never watched it. Wasn't my thing. But Seinfeld wasn't my thing, and I loved Seinfeld. I watched every minute of it. I've done a binge rewatch of Seinfeld twice in my life. So I think, honestly, in the future, I think you're going to see more people looking to the past to find good television. And I think that we're going to see a resurgence of good television that are from the bygone era. Funny stuff that you wouldn't think about, like the Carol Burnett variety show. You know, shows that you don't think about, like WKRP in Cincinnati. Barney Miller. I mean, these were all great shows that played. And All in the Family was a great show that showed kind of the way it was at the time. You know, these are almost like period pieces, some of them. And even other ones that I didn't watch myself, but a lot of people liked, like Welcome Back, Kotter. Even maybe some of the zanier stuff, like Gilligan's Island. God, I used to watch that every day as soon as I got home from school. Top Dog, another Chuck Norris movie, yes. Oh, yeah, we talked about V last night. We actually talked about V for a while last night. V, the miniseries, and V, the Final Battle. The turkey drop scene in WKRP, in my opinion, is one of the 10 top moments in American television. It is. Because you hear it, you don't get to see anything. You hear it through Les Nessman's mouth, and you watch it in Venus Flytrap and Johnny's face back at the station. And I wonder if I could show that and get in trouble. I don't know. I hate to do it. I'll probably get in trouble if I do. But that is an amazing scene because you don't see the helicopter or anything. And they set this whole... Now, and I work at a radio station, so this is kind of hits home for me. They set this whole big, like, promotional thing up. And they're supposed to show up out there, and the people are showing up to get their free turkeys for Thanksgiving. It's the day before Thanksgiving or whatever, and they fly over with a helicopter, and they start dropping the turkeys out of the helicopter, and they don't fly, so they're just landing all over the cars in the parking lot. They're flapping. There's feathers everywhere, and it's carnage. And Les Nessman reports on that as if it was the Hindenburg, and finally does give the famous words, "Oh, the humanity." And then the best part of the whole thing, after you've watched the whole reaction from what's her face, the girl there, Millie, I can't remember her name, but her, Bailey and Venus and Johnny Fever, and I think maybe the program director were in the studio, and you get to watch the reaction of them while you're listening to Les Nessman. Oh, the humanity! And you can hear the noises in the background. That is, and then of course, the best part of the whole thing, they end the show, they show the director's name, they go to commercial. Now, you guys remember what they used to do in the 70s and 80s. They would always come back with the closer. Remember, they would have, a lot of them would have a cold open. A lot of them would have a flush open. But then you would also have shows that would, at the end, like MASH did this too. At the end, you would have 2 or 3 spots. I think 2 and 1. And then you would come back. And when you came back from the break... there was about like 90 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. Mama, what do you do? Mama, let's not knock everything over during the broadcast. She literally just tried to jump up on the, what was that? What is that called? That's you being crazy. I'm gonna get her some Trump and all as soon as I get off of here. Yes, you got it, Crowbar. You got it. That's the line. That's the station manager walks in with the sales manager, Herb Tarlick. They come walking in. They got feathers all over them. Their suits are all ripped up. And he looks at everybody, and they're all looking at him, and nobody wants to say a word. And he finally opens his mouth and says, "As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly." And he turns and walks off the stage, dude. It is the best... one of the best moments in television ever. If you haven't watched it, watch it. And after you do, you might want to go back and watch those shows and binge them. They're really good. The news guy is crazy. The sales guy's a nutcase. The owner's worthless. The sales manager's trying to keep it all together. It almost feels like I work there. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of neat. It's, not that my place is anything like WKRP in Cincinnati, but, oh, it was funny. All right, well, Jungle, have a good one. I'll be on for another 30 minutes or so. Yes, he did. I read that somewhere. Richard Sanders. Last I checked, I think he's still alive. Yeah. Let's see here.
We're down in the area.
Yeah, we watched it in my house. My dad loved WKRP in Cincinnati. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That was definitely one of the great shows out there. Certainly was. All right, I'm checking the news here. Man, I got to tell you, this Amazon, having an Amazon facility in your town is amazing. I now have, not only do I have afternoon and evening delivery now, I can go on at 3 in the afternoon and order a part, and it's sitting at my gate at 7 o'clock when I get off work. I'm sorry, but that's 4 freaking hours. That's amazing. And you can order things late in the day, and they'll bring them in the evening. And now they've got early pre-dawn delivery here now. They offered me the other day, I was buying something, and it said this is available for pre-dawn delivery, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'm like, what? That's amazing. Kiss my grits. Now you're talking. Now you're talking about Alice. That's another great one. Mel's Diner. You know what's funny? We actually have Mel's Diners here. I don't know if the name came from there or what, but we actually have Mel's Diners here. And I always expect, my mom and I like to eat there, and I always expect to go in there and sit down and hear the guy behind the thing smashing it on it. Come on, Flo! Damn it! We gotta move the food, Flo! Hey, Mel, you can kiss my grits. Yes, I used to love that show too. I don't know why. It was about a single mom raising her kid in the city, working at a diner with a dingbat, and I don't know. Flo was a dingbat too, I guess, and Mel, who was a male chauvinist pig. But it was fun. It was a fun show, and it was great. I liked that show. Good night, dispatch. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Kiss my grits. TV was simple back then. It didn't need to be complicated. It didn't need to have a $1 million science fiction a CGI budget. It didn't need to ooh and awe. I mean, a TV show back then, you know what was required to have a decent TV show? I'm going to tell you what was required to have a decent TV show. Good writing. Good writing, good actors, and a decent set. That's all you need to make good TV. And what they do, they concentrate on all the things that don't matter. They concentrate on getting big, expensive names. They concentrate way too much on the sets sometimes. They concentrate way too much on location shooting. They concentrate way too much on CGI. They rely way too much on CGI. And I wish they would literally put all their efforts need to be put into good writing first. Good writing first. Because it always seems like that's where the problem lies. That's where the problem lies. Is it's just everything was there. Like with some of my sci-fi shows, Space 1999 is a great example. Everything was there, but the writing wasn't. They never got the good writers. Star Trek had some decent writers. You know, you had DC Fontana, you had some people that were actually really good at writing. Even Gene Roddenberry not only wrote scripts, not only wrote concepts and scripts, but he also wrote teleplays. He wrote it all. You know, he did all that stuff too. And you had some good writers on that original Star Trek. The third season got flaky. The third season actually suffers from a lowered budget, a worse, and here goes the camera again. Son of a bitch. Oh, God, I hate this camera. I hate this camera. Now I have to pull this program up, get into it. I don't need this program running, but I guess I have to keep it running so that I can reset the computer, the camera every time it screws up. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, it's set on the preset now, and I can get rid of that program. What a waste of my time. All right.
41.
I like diners too. Yeah, I mean, our Mel's down here is a nice diner. They have very nice food. It's a little expensive, but but I recommend it. They also sponsor our show. They also do, they work with our station and all of our stations. And you know one thing they do? They are our place where you bring your 10,000 cards for the troops every year. My station has been doing this thing for 12 years. I was involved in the very first one. And it's called 10,000 for the troops. And what we actually do is we get 10,000 or more cards from our listeners, and we have them fill them out and actually write a message in there. Not a real long message, a few, 3 or 4 sentences telling a serviceman from our area, we care about you, we want you to come home as soon as you can, and we're glad you're over there, and we respect you, and you're honorable to us, and those kind of things. And then our station is extremely patriotic. We are the Fox News station that we get more listeners on our Fox News station than any other branded Fox affiliate in the country. And so we do this project. I think we got 65,000 cards last year. We were 200 cards shy of beating our previous record. And these go into a program that's started by our hospital here, the Lee Memorial Health System, and they work in conjunction with us and public safety and a bunch of different people, and we all get these cards, and they all get vetted. They all get opened and vetted because you can't have them in envelopes. We tell people not to put them in the envelopes. They can either keep the envelopes, or if they give them to us, we donate them to other causes. But the cards are written out. No pictures, no candy, no nothing like that, just a card. And then those cards are stacked and they're put in boxes and they're mailed to the different troops around the world, whether they're on aircraft carriers, whether they're at Ramstein Air Base in Germany, whether they're in a theater of operation somewhere out in the waters off of Iraq. They will get these cards for Christmas this year. And they'll get these cards from our radio station. And we don't even put our sticker on the box. It's not about that. They don't even mention it. We just do it. It's our thing. We do it. But, it's one of those things. And they vet them. They send them out. It's amazing what goes on. And I've even done some of the vetting myself. I sat there for several hours one day going through cards and vetting them, making sure that they didn't say anything inappropriate. Believe it or not, we get a lot of them that say, hey, call me when you get home. Here's my phone number. We'll do whatever you want. And we can't obviously have that. But most, like 98% of the cards we get can be used. And so we send those off to, and the only reason I brought this up is because Armel's Diner is where you bring those cards. That's the drop-off location. Anyway, there's another great show, The Honeymooners. And The Honeymooners started out as a short within another show, and eventually it turned into basically their own little thing. But The Honeymooners was great. And that's, of course, Jackie Gleason, one of my favorite all-time actors, the guy that made the Smokey and the Bandit movies what they were. The Night Stalker. I'm trying to remember if I remember that one. Well, there you go. Yeah, there was some really good shows back then. There was also crap too. There was a lot of shows that there was hundreds of shows, guys, that in the 70s and 80s, hundreds and hundreds of shows that got canceled in their first season or following their first season. Lucille Ball, I Love Lucy. Now, let me tell you, here's the thing with I Love Lucy. I don't like it. I don't watch it. Not my kind of show. However, I love Lucille Ball. She's one of my favorite people in the whole world. And some of you already know why, and some of you don't. And I'm going to tell everybody. That woman owned Desilu Studios. Yeah, I'm telling them the story now. That woman owned Desilu Studios. And when no one would give Gene Roddenberry a shot, she gave him a shot. if you look at the original Star Trek, at the end, it says shot at Desilu Studios in Hollywood, California. And in living color on NBC. And if you look at it, it actually says that because it was shot on Desilu Studios, on Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball's studio. And a funny story that one of the cast members, it was either Shatner or Nimoy, I'm trying to remember who it was. One of the stories that they told over the years is that he went back to get something that he left. And as he walked onto the bridge set looking for whatever it was he had forgotten, Lucille Ball was there, sweeping into a pan and cleaning the setup for the next day. And he said, I will never forget that. Here's this woman. She's got her own show. She runs one of the big sound stages in town, one of the big television production studios. And she's in there with a broom cleaning up. Just some amazing stuff. And so I will always have a love for Lucille Ball because she gave Star Trek a chance. They call her the godmother of Star Trek because if it was not for Lucille Ball, there would have never been a Star Trek. And we would not have, right now, about 900 and something hours of Star Trek. You guys realize how many we have? The original series, 3 seasons, 74 episodes, I think. Next Generation, they had a couple of short seasons, but 7 seasons overall. 200 and something episodes. Deep Space Nine, 7 seasons, 200 and something episodes. And then you had Voyager, 7 seasons, 200 and something episodes. Enterprise, 5 seasons, about 170 episodes. 120. I don't know. I'm not good at math, but you guys know where I'm at. And then you get into the movies. There's 10 of them. The JJ movies, there's 3 of them. Then you get into all the Kurtzman Trek, if you want to count any of that. You got Picard, 3 seasons. Strange New Worlds, you got a season, 2, 3 seasons there, I think. But they're short seasons. You got Discovery, 5 seasons, short. A couple of them were short. But when you start adding all of that up, plus all the cartoons, there's been 4 or 5 cartoons, including the original animated series. When you add it all up, it's over 900 hours of Star Trek. No, they don't make women like her anymore. She was amazing. All right, so yeah, I will always have a reverence for her because of what she did for my show. And what she did for my show was she birthed it, basically. I mean, she literally created it herself. She gave Gene Roddenberry the money, the studio, the time that he needed to make this masterpiece. I don't know if you guys even realize with Star Trek, I don't know if you know, it didn't even while it was on the air, it wasn't that popular. It was one of these shows that became popular in syndication. It had decent numbers. They were going to cancel it after 2 seasons. A writing campaign kept it alive. The Gene Roddenberry himself kind of spurred off. And so it went a 3rd season. The 3rd season was bad. It was on Friday night. The budget was down. The writing was bad. But they still got their 3rd season, which allowed them to be syndicated. Once you have 3 seasons, you can now become a syndicated television show. And because of that syndication, that show was out there and available. And so a lot of stations like WTOG 44 here in Tampa, and a station in Miami and a station in Orlando. Back when I was a kid, these stations used to buy Star Trek episodes to run in the middle of the night. You could run it in the middle of the night and it didn't cost you that much at all. You run a few ads, you break even, you're good. And so basically it became popular in reruns. And then you had Next Generation. You know, Next Generation was one of the first, it was a franchise show. It was not owned by a network. Even Voyager was a UPN thing. But yeah, Next Generation, it started out as a franchised show, as syndicated. And they sold it to stations directly. And and after the third season, it was cooking with gas, and it was being shown in every freaking town. And so that's awesome, I think. So yeah, lots of really cool, neat things about Star Trek along the way. But anyway, all right, let's see what else we got going on here. I know some people are not into science fiction, so I try not to dwell. Let's see if there's any new information. I also have had requests to do more radio stuff. I got to temper it, guys. I can't do too much radio stuff because when I go into deep radio or deep science stuff, the numbers just drop drastically, and so I've got to kind of. I'm trying to get a nice blend because I still want to do those things. Yep. Have a good night, Victor. We'll see you tomorrow. Yep, and we've got everything all set here. I'm going to be out tomorrow for a majority of the day till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 3. And then at that point, I will be home to cover whatever's going on, and I'll be home all night, all day Sunday. And so if there's a reason to go live, I'm going to be going live. I don't know. I don't think so. I think the next big one was coming up in a few weeks, but I didn't think it was this weekend. Let me see. Let's just ask. Let's try this. What's wrong, Mama? What you doing, big girl? Yes, there is. Most predominantly is the No Kings protest, also called No Kings Day, or part of the ongoing No Kings movement against perceived authoritarian policies. Remember, the same people that are out there doing the No Kings thing were the same people that have protested to stop the war in Iran because they like the Ayatollah, and they're the same people that want us to not go in and take Venezuela, the Venezuelan leader. They like him. He's a king also. So they're for kings unless they're Donald Trump, which they perceive as a king, and they don't like that. So it's kind of really ludicrous. I think they could have done a lot better with the branding, because right after they'd started this No Kings, they started standing up for kings in other countries. And so it's kind of a very strange thing that they're doing here, where all the things they're accusing Trump of, all the people they support do to their people. That's just how shallow and ignorant most of these leftists are. They're just not that smart. Let's see here. While the main national wave is set for Saturday, March 28th, that's the one I'm aware of. So there is one this weekend. The big one is set for next weekend, with thousands of events planned across all 50 states, coordinated by groups like Indivisible, Move On, ACLU, and others. Isn't it amazing that the American Civil Liberties Union used to be on the side of the Constitution, and now they're just literally, they've been taken over by leftists. It's literally has nothing to do with America's civil liberties anymore. It has to do with just off the deep end leftist bullshit like everything else. Yeah, I'm predicting another flop. I actually believe that these people they're done. I think they're done. I don't think they see a need or a use for what they're doing, and that's correct. But yeah, I think a lot of them are done. Some local No Kings sign-making gatherings, safety trainings, and build-up events are listed for March 21st and 22nd. Ongoing weekly protests are occurring everywhere on the weekends. Other scattered events include women's rights, pro-democracy rallies, mutual aid gatherings, and local anti-ICE solidarity actions in cities like Portland, Oregon, and others tied to the broader movement. The big event is coming up on March 28th, which is a week from tomorrow. They're expecting 2,000 to 3,000 separate individual events across all 50 states. This is going to be the largest single-day protest in U.S. history, but the weekend features build-up activities. This weekend has build-up activities and smaller localized events. But there is nothing massive planned for this weekend. There is for next weekend. There you go. So that's what we got. Yeah, Gavin Newsom, or as I call him, Douche Newsom. He is a real piece of shit, that guy. I can't stand that guy. You know that he right now is in the straw polls they're doing, and in the polls, all the polls they're doing, they're showing four people right now get more than 3%. When they ask, who do you want to nominate to be the next president of the United States? When they ask liberals, leftists this, what they end up with is four names. Number one, Gavin Newsom at 19%. So nobody beats 20%. So that means that the highest person out there only gets 19%. The second one, Kamala Harris. They love their losers, man. There's still 17% of the people that like Kamala Harris. They think that she would be the best president still. Even though we saw this woman fold up twice, they think that she would be the best. The third person on the list at 12%, Beto O'Rourke, or as I call him, Robert Francis O'Rourke. Yeah, him, the name appropriator. He is in third place at 12%. And then at 11%, AOC. Yes, AOC. They only keep her around because she makes Kamala Harris look smart. Yeah, I expect it to be a pretty big flop. I don't know. We'll have to see. A lot of it will depend on if they can get the anarchists out, if they can get the paid people to bring their money, and they can support the protests with money. We have to see where they're going to end up, how much support they're going to get. Oh, dork. Yeah. Beto. It's Beto. You got to say it that way. Beto. He's an idiot. He's like a 3-time loser. The leftists love their losers. And even Douche Newsom. Yeah, he's won a couple of races. Yeah, he ran a city all the way into the ground. It's now one of the worst cities in the world. And now he's running his state into the ground. And it's one of the worst states in the country as far as so many different things. And yet this guy is, this guy is right now I wouldn't say he's the heir apparent, but he is by far the front runner. You have to call him that. He's the front runner. I would say there is no heir apparent right now. When you get an heir apparent, that's somebody that's getting 40-50% of the vote. That's the person you're thinking, well, this guy's going to get it no matter what. We don't have an heir apparent. What we have is a front runner, and he's at 19%, and that's Gavin the Hair Douche Newsom. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on with all that. All right, guys, what else do we got going on? I'm going to go ahead and put last call for the chat room in there. It's Friday night. I'm tired. I was late getting off work. I haven't ate dinner yet. I'm still sitting here in my shoes and pants from work. I never even got a chance to go change into my shorts. So yeah, I'm done tonight. I'm really tired. End of the week. I'm gonna go spend the day with Mom tomorrow, and then I plan to be back here about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And I will take live. I will go live if there's something to cover. Yes, I saw you said that the other day, Dom, and that is hilarious. You are 100% correct. Politicians would do a wonderful job on Jeopardy because they form all of their answers in the form of a question. That's absolutely correct. Yep, if I get a chance over the weekend, I'm going to make a few more of these Trump and all commercials. I do have 2 projects over here I'm working on as well. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys, put whatever's left in the chat room that you want me to bring up or discuss, because I'm getting ready to sign off. I'm really done here. I'm really done. All right, let's go back to here real quick. Yep, they're saying the Windy City is in a fiscal, not physical, but fiscal, meaning financial crisis. And it is just really going downhill fast. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I cannot believe that California actually has passed a law that you're not allowed to ask for ID anywhere in California to vote. So even if a city wants to ask for ID, they're not allowed. Now, we've done the opposite here in Florida. We are passing or have passed laws that make it to where our cities cannot be sanctuary cities, and our cities cannot be ID-free voting zones. Everybody here has to vote with an ID in Florida, and you have to prove citizenship. So we've already done all the stuff they're wanting to do in that SAVE Act. We're pretty much already doing. I don't know that we're going to have to change anything down here. The only reason that you would not want the SAVE Act, the act that requires states to make sure that everybody that has a voter card is a citizen, and they have to make sure that everyone shows up with valid ID in order to vote. That's all. It's not like it's a big deal. That's it. And the people that don't want this to happen, which, by the way, is about 20%, you know, when they poll Democrats, Independents, and Republicans, they all vote in the majority. 65% of Democrats want voter ID, and they want you to be a citizen to vote. It's like 70% of Independents and 90% of Republicans want you to ID to vote. What's the only reason you would not ID? The only reason you would fight, you have to have an ID for everything. You have to have an ID to see your congressman. You have to have an ID to sign a contract or to vote or to get something notarized, to buy a house. You can't do anything without an ID. You can't go to the bank and cash a check. You get pulled over. You got to have your ID. You have to have ID for everything. It's crazy when you think about it. But they don't think you need ID to vote. And then when they ask them, why do you think, who is it that cannot get ID? Oh, well, black people are having a hard time getting IDs. How's that? How's that exactly? The percentage of black people that have legal Florida IDs is almost identical to the percentage of white people that have Florida IDs. There really is no discrepancy there. So the whole excuse of a certain class of minorities has a hard time getting to the driver's license office or something, it's simply stupid. The reason they're doing this, the reason the left is fighting this act is because that's what's been winning them elections. This is literally what's been winning them elections. Yeah, we have to hear. What's wrong, Mama? What's wrong? Huh? Tell me. What? What? All right. I'll get you some. I'll get you some in just a minute. I'm signing off. You know what she's telling me? She needs water. I check her food before I go to bed every night anyway. I would have seen it anyway, but that's okay. You told me, and I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Last call for the chat room. Yeah, you have to show ID to do anything. You know, I don't know. To me, it's crazy. So the only reason, if you guys tell me what other reason there would be. What other reason would we have to not ask for ID when we vote? The only reason is because they want the fraud to continue, period. That's it. So there you go. They want the fraud to continue. All right, guys, please hit that subscribe button. We're struggling a bit. I think YouTube's truncating this week, because I am down. The numbers are falling this week. I don't know what's going on. So please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know when we go live over the next couple days, we will be going live early the next couple days. As news breaks, as things begin to happen, I will go live. If it's a big, huge event, I have multiple computers for multiple screens, multiple streams. It's going to be really cool. So we're all set to go with that. All right, everybody. I guess that's going to be it. I hope you guys have a good night out there. And I hope that things go well for everybody. And we're going to see you guys later. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name is Ian. And we're going to see you guys tomorrow night right back here on Starship Adventures at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Or, more than likely, early. If there's any weather, if there's any protests, if there's things going on in the Middle East, if there's other breaking news, whatever it is, if I can find enough interest and enough things. Is that lightning in Beirut? I think it's raining with lightning in Beirut. If I can find enough things to fill the screen with 4 or 5 different things and we have something to talk about, boom, I go live. It's that simple. So you guys have a good one out there, and we'll see you later. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. Good night, everybody.
Welcome back to reality.
Do you have a family member that has gone off the deep end, lost all connection with reality? Are they suffering uncontrolled crying and an unexplainable hatred for Donald Trump? Do you want to get that loved one back? Introducing MAGA Strength Trumpanol, a medication specifically formulated to treat the symptoms of Trump derangement syndrome. It reverses the debilitating effects of TDS and brings normalcy and reason back into focus. Get your loved one back today with Trumpanol.
Side effects include sudden onset of personal responsibility and a strange desire to pay your own bills. uncontrollable urge to say thank you to service workers and law enforcement, mild to severe improvement in critical thinking skills, may cause enthusiastic patriotism, flag waving, and an inexplicable urge to get a job or start a nuclear family, increased tolerance for differing political opinions, sudden appreciation for border security and law and order, temporary loss of victimhood identity, patients report feeling oddly empowered instead, development of a functional sense of humor about political figures, may develop immunity to corporate media fear porn, may cause you to stop virtue signaling on social media and start building something real in the physical world. Do not take if you are allergic to winning, common sense, or constitutional republics.
Trumpanol, the leading treatment for acute Trump derangement syndrome in adults. Get Trumpanol today, wherever psychedelic or hallucinogenic drugs are sold. Stop being a crazy bitch. Get Trumpanol today.
Trumpanol, welcome back to reality.
From the dusty sands of Iraq to the Holy Land shore, we stood tall against the tyrants, settled in the score. Flying over the desert, fighting for what's right, waving old glory under that desert night.
Terror's got no place in this world we defend. With our allies in Israel, brothers to the end.
Oh, make America great, like Trump always said. Pro-conservative values from heart to head, and a terror and a commie and a lunacy too. Pro-America, pro-flag, red, white, and true, standing strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith under God's own light. Saddam's regime crumbled, we brought the light of day. No more hiding in shadows, we pay freedom's way. Trump knew the deal with walls and bold calls, kept the radicals running, built those embassy walls. Our bond with Israel, unbreakable chain against Hamas and hatred, we weather the rain.
Conservative values from heart to head, and I terror, commie, and a lunacy too. Pro-America, pro-flag, red, white, and true, standing strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith under God's own light.
No room for the socialists spinning their lies, or the crazies dividing with their wild-eyed cries. We honor our heroes, the ones who gave all for family, for country, answering the call. Trump led the charge with grit and with grace, keeping our nation in its rightful place. From Baghdad to Jerusalem, the eagle soars high with stars on our banner, touching the sky. We'll never back down, no surrender inside.
Pro-Trump, pro-values, we'll win this fight. Oh, make America great, like Trump always said. Pro-conservative values from heart to head, and I terror and I commie and I lunacy too. Pro-America, pro-flag, red, white, and true, standing strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith.
Forever inside.
All right, everybody, that's going to be it for tonight. It's been my pleasure to be your host. I love what I do here, and I love the fact that you guys come here every night to watch. Thank you, everybody, especially to my mods out there for keeping it all going. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for another edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. this does conclude our broadcast day. Have a good night, everybody. 7-3s. KO4 EFS QSY, clear frequency.
The sun